6 a.m. I see this influx of videos online, probably for the past couple years, people talking about the job market, how it's difficult to get a job. And I kind of hear that, and it always makes me think about university and how I feel like maybe 10 years ago when I went to university, we were kind of in that last strand of being able to maybe get careers and jobs out of uni. And even for people like us, it's difficult, right? And I'm not going to be here saying uni's a scam and all that kind of stuff, but what I will say is that if you're not doing a degree that leads specifically to a job, it can be quite pointless. It can be a waste of time. Even for me, for example, went to a Russell Group University, did a chemistry degree, master's. So it's a good degree. It's got transferable skills. If I want to do finance, which I did end up doing finance, I could do it because I got transferable skills, right? But what I will say is that when you're at uni, I wouldn't keep closed in. I'll make sure you're doing certain other maybe co-curricular activities to make sure that you're keeping your interests spread wide. So for me, it took probably 2 years for me to realize that, yo, I'm doing this chemistry. This is mad difficult. I'm just about keeping up. I'm doing this lab stuff. I'm not really enjoying it too much. I can't see myself working in chemistry. So then that's when I started doing these kind of like pitching events, these speaking events, and that's how I kind of developed my public speaking skills, right? And I got better because I didn't realize that I was quite decent at talking to crowds. I quite enjoyed it. I enjoyed the adrenaline that it gave me, right? And I think me doing that, obviously I'm not saying that that was a direct career, but me just doing that, when going to a few sessions with one of my friends, that kind of broadened my horizons and it opened my mind up a bit, and it made me think that, raw, okay, cool, you know what? I've probably got maybe a bit more personality than I thought. I don't need to work in a lab or anything like that. I could probably do a lot of different jobs. So then, okay, even though I did finance in the end, probably I didn't need that much of a personality to do that, but it did help broaden my horizons. And that's probably even why I'm doing these videos now, because I know I'm pretty decent at speaking. But I think if I hadn't have done that, I might have ended up maybe stuck in that rat race of trying to find a chemistry related job, thinking that I kind of had to do that. But with uni in general, man, it's so difficult trying to get a job. Even when it came to getting a graduate job, I probably had to apply for maybe like 50 jobs. I remember spending that whole, I think fourth year, sorry, because I did 4 years. I remember spending that whole fourth year, the start of it, for a few months, applying for about 50 roles, maybe getting 3 assessment centers. Of the 3 assessment centers, you got to go through hoops just to get the job, getting 1 offer out of 50, and it's kind of just like, raw. And I'm someone who's like, I'm like decent grades or whatever, masters, good university, all that, and it's a struggle. I'm going into the assessment center, you got people from LSE, Oxford, Cambridge, so already the numbers are stacked against you. So I'm like, bro, if it was me and I could do it again, I'll probably try and do an apprenticeship or something like that, man, because if you're not lucky, it's going to be difficult trying to get a job. And once you got that degree, and the one thing about uni that's peak, right, imagine paying all this money for the degree, so all my chemistry knowledge, right, I don't have the textbooks anymore. Maybe I should have kept them or whatever, but even if I did have the textbooks, I can't even go online and get the resources that I spent 4 years learning and I spent all this money on, because your password and all that doesn't work anymore, it's inactive. So imagine spending all that time, all that money, you can't even access the stuff. It's just a pure finesse if you ask me, man. So if I was 17, 18 and I had the chance to do this again, I wouldn't go uni. I'd just take a year out, maybe even a couple years, just to think about what I'm doing and see if I could save the money, man, because this job market is so messed up that paying all this money for a degree, it's not even guaranteed that your life's going to be patterned.